I've been doing videos against sort of alternative therapies, particularly those that claim that they can cure when they've got no evidence they can cure, for quite a while now. And one of the things that really, it doesn't really annoy me, but it quite annoys me, is people who sit on the fence. And we're going to read some comments from a recent conversation I've been having, but this is pretty much how they generally go. So he starts. They are anecdotal cases, but they are still formally documented by the Institute. Not a 100% cure rate by any means, there are a huge amount of variables, and I don't think they have ever officially claimed 100%. Basically, all of the patients are terminally ill, meaning nothing is supposed to cure them. And to have any kind of success rate is genuinely remarkable. If a terminally ill patient can have some form of hope for their future, then that's a pretty special thing. And here's the problem that you get. Take, for example, the last part. If a terminally ill patient can have some form of hope for their future, that's a pretty special thing. Unfortunately, it's not. This comment this guy left was on the Gerson therapy, and the Gerson therapy has absolutely no proof whatsoever that it works as a treatment. Anyone who thinks that, again, like Scott, that they keep, formal records, they don't. They do not keep any near enough detailed records. It has been shown when an investigative team actually went down to have a look and followed up on these patients, there was only one of the guys they followed up was actually still alive, but his prognosis, again, was still pretty grim. He still had cancer. Again, these are anecdotal cases. We have no idea what's going on in people's bodies. We have sometimes, again, the guy linked me to a study of 6 people. And basically, these 6 people couldn't even provide enough actual evidence whether or not these people actually had cancer. But there you go. Again, they have at the time of me doing the original video, the Dark Side of Gerson Therapy video, was near enough 3 years ago now, pushing 4. They did claim they had a 100% success rate. Now they have since changed that claim. But they have changed it to a 40% survival rating. Which, again, if you compare it to conventional treatments, beats it every single time. The conventional treatment, that is. So anyway, Scott continues. These cases are documented. Whether or not one believes the causation is another story. But there certainly is a strong correlation with what one eats to how they live in these cases. I've heard us say around a 45% success rate depending on how strict the regime. Which makes sense, does it not? Unfortunately, it doesn't, because numerous times, again, looking at people that have done the Gerson therapy or have died doing the Gerson therapy, the Gerson Institute has thrown these people under the bus by saying that they weren't doing the regime right, or that something was wrong with them and that it wasn't the Gerson therapy fault. Again, there is not a causation just because these people are doing this. There are cases of where cancer has come on incredibly aggressively and then disappeared literally overnight. Again, there are documented cases of that happening. What happened there? Was it because they ate a Werther's Original? Or Werther's Original that the cure to cancer? Again, this is what you've got to be careful when you are saying, there's a causation. Again, a lot of these people he's talking about already have had conventional medical treatment. Again, there is no evidence by itself to say that the Gerson therapy is an effective treatment. And he continues. You seem confused by what defines terminally ill cancer patient. There is no survival rate for terminally ill in most modern medicine. Except the Gerson therapy do. Because why then are they giving a 45% survival rate? We are talking about almost exclusively stage 4 cancers here. Do you understand now? People usually turn to the Gerson therapy because there is literally nothing else. Again, which is where the tricks and the scams comes in. Because again, Gerson therapy doesn't work. Again, I keep on trying to hammer this home. It doesn't work. It has no scientific evidence to prove it works. And everything else it is anecdotal evidence at best. And even then, the anecdotal evidence is so shaky, you can't believe it. If you have cancer and you are doing the Gerson therapy and you've been told that it's terminal, my advice is the Gerson therapy is not going to help you. Pure and simple. That's the plain facts, I'm afraid. My advice, get your affairs in order and enjoy what time you have left with your family. That's what I would do, and that's what anyone else sensibly would do. Okay? You know, people have come on to me, and again, have said to me before, how can you be so harsh about this? I'm sorry, but you have to be harsh, because otherwise, these people that are terminally ill throw hundreds, if not thousands of pounds worth of money at the Gerson Institute for books, supplements, juices, whatever, you name it. The Gerson therapy make money off this. I want to be clear. People always say, oh, but they don't make any money. Yes, they do make money off this. You are a fool to think that they don't. The Gerson Institute documents tumour decline and growth by ways of various radiology. No, they don't, because that would be included in their, treatments. They do not have a radiology at their clinic because they're not a proper clinic, despite their claims. The only way they could say for absolute sure what a patient does is if the patient stayed there the entire time they had cancer, which almost never happens. Again, why? Because the Gerson therapy charges a ludicrous amount of money for you to stay there. Again, this guy, is sitting on the fence and has said, rather than say, look at all the available evidence and say, well, actually, it doesn't work. He's gone, well, actually, it does work. And it's giving these people hope, so I'll let it pass. No, you cannot let this pass. They do not have a single piece of evidence that it works. And these people that come forward and say, oh, I was on the Gerson therapy, it worked, had conventional treatment, didn't even prove, scientifically that they had cancer. Again, normally most people when they do have cancer or terminally ill cancer, they get it, certainly second opinion, ironclad, yeah, it's proven. They don't get it proven. And again, medical mistakes can be made. And again, there are cases where cancer literally comes on aggressively and, the doctor have said, well, I think you've only got a couple of weeks to live, and then they've come back, boom, cancer gone. It has happened. Again, Gerson therapy here is riding massively on the coattails of conventional medicine. So don't, again, let them fool you that they are curing people when they're not. But that's really all I've got to say on these people. You cannot sit on the fence when all conventional scientific wisdom and evidence is saying Gerson therapy doesn't work, here's why. You cannot suddenly say, well, it's giving these people hope, so might as well let them do it. No, you can't, because then you're giving these people false hope. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. You're giving these people false hope false pretensions that they might be cured, and these people are vulnerable, and people like the Gerson Institute are predators who prey on these people. So I'm sorry, you can't sit on the fence.